Hello, welcome back to another episode of Two Dudes Drinking Beer. I'm Josh.
Why is the music still going on that?
It's because it hasn't
Caught up.
It's not there yet.
Oh, that's fucking with me.
And I have the fucking paranoid audio check every time. Yeah, we're fine.
Sounds good to me. And I'm Alec. Sorry, what the fuck? Did I miss all that?
I think so.
That music threw me off so much.
Delays and such.
Well,
today's 2DDBFFOTD, the fun fact of the day, the meaning out of the butthole.
the butthole.
So the 100 folds in a chef's hat represent the 100 ways to cook an egg.
That's dumb. That's also a lie.
That's not a lie.
Go back to Cosmopolitan.
It's a French, I don't know how to pronounce the word. I literally just Googled it, but it's an adage. It's a proverb or short statement expressing a general truth.
Adage.
It's an adage. It's a
You say fucking ada? Ada.
adage.
No.
They said it's
Adage.
from France.
So it's everyone knows that word. Everyone knows old adage.
Fucking not me, apparently.
Old adage. It says.
Hopefully the beer isn't terrible. I hope so too.
We have backups though. We fucking learned our lesson. We're doing a beer bong, and then we have some Bud Light to back it up, just in case. Because the other shows I've been thinking, where we don't like the beer and we just sit there,
They suck.
they suck. They're not fun for us. They're probably not entertaining for you guys. So either way, what up, Wasabi? What up, Ghost Hand? She bangs. Weemon.
That was like the best season of American Idol ever.
That was the peak of American Idol. What are you drinking today, Josh?
Today we're drinking Liquid Candy. It's a hazy IPA by the brewery that my brother used to work at in Thousand Oaks. Tarantula Hill.
Malt hops, Tarantula Hill. Well, I love their logo. I always thought it was a bench, but
Yeah,
apparently it's a T and an H. So, without further ado, Josh also updated the list today.
Yeah, it's in Excel. That's so good.
That's a good IPA.
That's super good.
It's a really good IPA. Very smooth. Got a tail end of sweetness aftertaste. Big fan. What are you doing?
Fixing the curtain. Of all times, today it was messed up.
Well,
Alrighty. So, on the docket, I have a question for you.
all right.
I want to read it exactly how I wrote it, and then I'm going to explain why I was thinking about this. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
What if fate was determined by every decision your mother made while she was pregnant with you?
Oof.
Like, for example, if she drank coffee and you got anxiousness because of the caffeine affecting you at such a small state. So it's like determinism, but like another step
Through how you're raised.
above that. Not even. While you're in the fucking womb developing, every single fucking little thing or choice that your mother does
That is the actual...
determines your life.
That's the tarot card reading
Yes.
before you come out of the womb.
Yeah. That's
Pretty dope.
That's the
I like
determinism.
That. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Like, instead of going left across the bridge, she went right across the bridge. And now you can't fucking have a sense of direction.
And we all know my sense of direction's bad. I like that a lot.
I just had this thought walking. I was doing my parking lot patrol. I saw the vultures. I took a picture. They're just eating something.
Click.
Behind rocks.
You took a picture of vultures and you're like, what is life?
Yeah.
You had that existential crisis of, man, those vultures are eating a dead animal. What if I die?
See? Two vultures behind Ross.
And you're just like, if my mom drank coffee, is that why I have anxiety?
Well, I saw a pregnant woman when I was walking back in the store, and I was like...
You're supposed to avoid caffeine when you're pregnant. Was she drinking coffee?
She was.
That
so
bitch.
So I was like, what if that kid comes out like all anxious and cracked out?
Well, I don't think you need to drink coffee to get anxious and cracked out in today's world. I think you kind of just...
Red Bull gives me the shakes.
Does it really?
Yeah, that's the only sort of caffeine that actually affects me.
Damn. And the beer yesterday is the only one that triggered your gag reflex that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm becoming less of a robot.
I was going to say,
by day.
it's starting to feel feelings now.
That's that new firmware update.
Damn. I don't know. I think that's a great question. I think no. Here's why. I think it's going to be processed by the liver the same way most toxins get processed through your body. I do think, however, it can have long-term effects, like alcohol. If it does damage, it could damage that part of your brain or that part of your growth spurt or whatever it is that affects you, that will have that outcome.
What do you think about the deterministic factors, though? Like the...
Could you expand on that to me? Because it seems to me like...
So let's say you're a little fetus again, right? Imagine that. You're floating in water or amniotic fluid.
I was going to say water. Damn, bitch.
Made up of water and other things.
Liquid.
Yeah, amniotic fluid.
Just mostly Busch Light.
That explains a lot. But like,
I guess it is kind of deterministic. Go ahead.
Yeah. But like, if your mother is pregnant with you and you're still in there, right? It's like 2 months in. You're just a little guy, a happy little dude, hanging out. And the example of, well, okay, so determinism is like everything you do up until that point has been determined based on whatever you've done before that. So the decision you make has been predetermined based on what happened beforehand.
My main dilemma with this, and I like it. I really like it. I like this.
You're welcome.
I like this foundation you've set up. But my issue is determinism means if she drank the coffee, she was supposed to drink the coffee to give me said anxiety. So I think you're still a step shy. You know what I'm saying? I think you're like...
More or less what I would like to...
I like it, but it seems like it's missing a component. There's something missing in that theory to me.
So she didn't drink but got punched in the stomach. Possible.
That does have a long-term effect for pregnant women.
A lot of emotional stress can also cause changes. According with the specific period of gestation, the gestational period moment can intensify problems. Yes.
That makes sense. I know that, yeah. I mean, it's like smoking and drinking. Like, if you do it, it's going to fuck up your kid. Caffeine's obviously also a drug. And maybe, like, people who smoke crack and use drugs like heroin or have an addiction to pills, their babies will often come out crying longer, and they'll have like red skin because they're feeling withdrawal symptoms from the second they're born.
Yeah.
I don't know what that causes in long-term effects. I know it can't be good. Maybe if a mom was drinking alcohol or coffee, the baby would come out craving alcohol or coffee, because as we know, if you drink alcohol every day, your brain chemistry changes, because your brain chemistry goes, this is my life. This is the chemical balance I need to survive and sustain day-to-day life. So it will adapt to that. But being a baby with alcohol withdrawal or drug withdrawal, I don't know how it affects the brain chemistry. Obviously, I'm not a scientist in that field. I can't imagine it wouldn't not fuck you up, though. Because let's look up fetal, I'm going to look up fetal alcohol
syndrome.
Thank you. Which I wonder what qualifies it as a syndrome, because it seems more like an effect.
SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome.
Well, that's also another long-term one, isn't it? Fetal alcohol syndrome is a condition in a child that results from alcohol exposure during the mother's pregnancy. Fetal alcohol syndrome causes brain damage and growth problems. The problems caused by fetal alcohol syndrome vary from child to child, but defects caused by fetal alcohol syndrome are not reversible. There is no amount of alcohol that's known to be safe to consume during pregnancy, which means no alcohol currently is safe to consume during pregnancy. If you drink during pregnancy, you place your baby at risk of fetal alcohol syndrome.
So one drink is okay.
No. Symptoms. The severity... Oh, by the way, I'm on the mayoclinic.org.
They're pretty trustworthy. And yes, wasabi.
The severity of fetal alcohol syndrome symptoms varies, with some children experiencing them to a far greater degree than others. Signs and symptoms of fetal alcohol syndrome may include any mix of physical defects, intellectual, cognitive disability, and problems functioning and coping with everyday life. Physical defects. Distinctive facial features, including small eyes. Fucking mom!
Go on.
The first one! The first one, Josh.
Do you want to know what classifies something as a syndrome? I have the definition.
Sure.
A group of symptoms which consistently occur together, or a condition characterized by a set of associated symptoms. So if you just have one, you don't have it, you need a group of it.
That was still the first one.
Okay, well.
The first one's small eyes, and I always talk about how fucking small my eyes are.
Well, let's see if you can roll number 2.
An unexpectedly thin upper lip, a short upturned nose, smooth surface skin between the nose and upper lip.
Negative.
Deformities of joints, limbs, and fingers, slow physical growth before and after birth, vision difficulties, hearing problems, small head circumference and brain size, heart defects and problems with kidneys and bones.
So you just have tiny eyes.
Still, though, I'd like to blame somebody for this.
Just yourself.
Someone's taking the blame.
Just yourself.
Poor coordination or balance, intellectual disability, poor memory, trouble with attention, difficulty with reasoning and problem solving, difficulty identifying consequences of choice, poor judgment skills, jitteriness or hyperactivity, rapidly changing moods. Some of these, but it sounds more like ADHD. At least I'd figure I'd be more along the lines of ADHD than fetal alcohol syndrome.
Pretty sure if you had fetal alcohol syndrome, you'd be dead.
Already?
Probably.
By now. Difficulty in school, trouble getting along with others, poor social skills, trouble adapting to change, problems with behavior, poor concept of time, problems staying on task, difficulty planning or working towards a goal. When to see a doctor?
Unimportant.
Yeah.
I'm just more or less thinking if it's any sort of like possibility that if your mother, while she was pregnant with you, decided to take the bus rather than walk to work one day, and now you have a fear of public transportation.
So I'm going to say no on things that are external, but I will say absolutely things that are internal. And by that, I mean taking a bus is more external. Shit, but that's the thing. Like, okay. Damn, that's a really good, deep question. You really broke into your philosophy studies on that one.
Yeah.
Cheers to you, man. You really did this one. Okay.
I came prepared.
I like this one.
My note was longer than a sentence.
So let's start with internal, right? That seems easier. Anything the mother ingests will have a direct effect on the baby.
Correct.
Bar none.
Yes.
It'll be sustenance, it'll be nutrients, or it'll be toxic, or
Babies are like double filters.
yeah, it's the second liver growing in your body, you know? It's basically telling the body, hey, when you are born, eventually you're going to need a stronger liver. So...
Liver.
Yeah, no. You're going to need a stronger liver. Fuck you. Liver.
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 So I'm going to drink some alcohol, and my baby's going to get a really strong liver. Nailed it.
Congratulations.
I think there's like a 1% chance of that happening. A very small percentage of that happening. And that is important. Freshly bathed. What up? First try. Nailed it. How you been, man?
We'll edit all the other takes out.
Yeah. I feel like there's already been like 2 highlights from here. But yeah, man. Anything that the mother ingests is for sure going to affect the baby.
Yes.
Either positively or negatively. I don't know if a vegan diet is going to be good for a baby. I don't know how much caffeine is safe. I don't know how much red wine is safe.
So you can't give your baby Mountain Dew.
So no Mountain Dew. Not even a drop, because that shit is just pure caffeine with fucking...
lemon lime.
Demonic sweat. Anyway. So that's inside the body. Do I think that will make the baby grow up a drug addict or an alcoholic? I think there's a really good argument for that.
I think like those results are too big I think that it would only influence like small things, like character choices, like the going right instead of left, and now you have bad sense of direction.
See, but now I think you're thinking too small. I think you've chosen a really big thing, and you're like, well, it'll affect this one tiny, micromanageable thing, and I don't think that's the case. I think it's going to affect a larger aspect of that child's life. I think if someone does drugs while they're pregnant, the baby comes out having withdrawal symptoms. In high school, they're 14, 15. They get their first chance to experiment with recreational drugs. They take the drugs, and all of a sudden their body chemistry goes, oh shit,
I've been here before.
where have you been all my life? I think that's very real and possible.
Yeah.
So
As we both agree that the internals are
super important.
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is I think even after the baby withdraws and I guess recovers from its withdrawals, when it gets reintroduced back into the system, there might be a chemical change in the brain that goes, oh shit, I feel like a kid again. I feel happy now. And I think there's a very real chance that the person, regardless of creed or nationality, will be like, yo, this feels familiar and I like it. And then they might also struggle with withdrawals more so down the road. That's as far as I think that goes. And I know it's not super like my mom chose this bridge over that bridge. I like this architecture the most. But
You don't know. You could.
But I feel like I've covered all the internals. If we're covering externals now, they say if you play music for your baby straight up to the belly, that the baby can hear and respond to music in the womb.
Yes. I have heard that. Yes.
I think that might also have an effect on brain function and growth and development.
That's why they like to listen to classical music. They want a rich baby.
Well,
successful baby.
Fun fact, if you want your children to develop perfect pitch, playing classical music for them while they're infants before they can speak will help that happen. That's proven in science. Which is why Asian countries and Asian-speaking languages, which is more tonal and based on pitch, they have a better sense of pitch because it's crucial to the language. And the baby's brain goes, if this is happening now, it must be important. We'll take notes on that. So every instance of pitch changing becomes super important. So when they play an instrument, they go, oh, that's the same kind of pitch as this pitch, and they can recognize it more easily because as an infant, their brain developed to go, oh, this is important because it was introduced to me super young. So pay attention. I think that could possibly have the same effect on an infant in the womb. I don't know how good the hearing is under all the...
Probably muffled.
Yeah, it's probably quite muffled. But
maybe imagine it's like you're at the bottom of a pool and someone's screaming at the top. You can kind of hear it.
Yeah, it's like...
Yeah.
I imagine it more being like metered if it's got a beat to it. I think that could also help because a lot of cultures... What am I missing in the chat? I feel like the chat's going off.
You're not missing anything. Just Wasabi keeps saying cocaine is a hell of a drug, and
Nice.
I feel if you hit them with a bat, the kids can develop perfect pitch.
If that's how you feel, man, do a scientific study.
Take some kids.
Ask a question, form a hypothesis, experiment, bro. Hit them kids with bats.
Take some kids, hit them with bats. Make them get perfect pitch.
You see that bubble pop?
No.
Anyway. If it's metered, if it's got a beat to it, a pulse, a rhythm, I think that would do more than just a melody.
So if you just played like white noise up to your belly, right? Like
I'm gonna play a beat. I'm gonna beatbox a little beat, and you tell me where you think it's from in the world. Boom, ka-boom, 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 ka-boom.
how the fuck am I supposed to know this?
No?
No.
Think of a song with that beat. Boom, ka-boom, 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 ka-boom. All right, there's a lot of Bad Bunny songs, a lot of Latin
I
songs.
don't listen to that.
All right. There's a lot of Latin songs with that kind of beat. Let me do another beat that you might know?
Card shuffling.
That's called a blast beat. It's very popular in hardcore and metal music.
Sounds like card shuffling.
Regardless, playing metal for your baby on the belly, that'd be hilarious. I think those things could possibly be picked up by a baby. And again, ladies and goddamn gentlemen, I am not smart or qualified to say any of this shit.
I'm smart, but I'm not
This is me getting
qualified.
drunk, and telling opinions. Words hard sometimes. Sounds like a chopper. Boom, boom, boom. Chopper. Anyway. These fucking gardeners and trashmen are fucking up, bro. We moved the show to 3 o'clock to avoid these assholes, and they moved their shit to 3 o'clock to unavoid us.
Yeah.
Anyway, regardless, I think anything metered would be more impactful because anything that's metered has a lot more cultural importance in music than melody or tonality. Tonality is very important, but the metering is more important because it dictates what melodies are possible, basically. So, I think classical music for a baby, maybe not the best. Anything with a percussive kind of beat, I think would be more.
Ocean sounds.
I don't think that would do shit. I think just go to the beach. Because you gotta remember, like, if your baby is hearing shit all the time, it's just hearing you talk and your husband fight, basically. Let's be honest.
We don't have sex anymore. I think your mom was a cunt.
Things get said.
I didn't know Bane made an appearance on the show.
Batman?
Basically, what I'm trying to say is play something with a beat or a rhythm that is organized and consistent that will trigger the brain to recognize a pattern. If you're just talking or rambling, it doesn't seem as metered or sequenced. Classical music sure is metered and sequenced, but I can't imagine it being super clear coming through a belly. If you had drums in there, that could maybe wake up the brain to something a little more consistent and steady, as opposed to just talking. Because if your baby's hearing anything, it's hearing something all the time. So you might as well give it something that's going to be pattern based to strengthen that pattern recognition in their brain, the same way you do with pitch or melody or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I do think those would have long-term effects, but those would have small long-term effects in the idea that, like, I'm not scared of public transit, but, like, I heard, like, a bing, bing, because my mom always took the bus, and now all of a sudden I know bing, bing is like a rhythmic pattern that I can kind of recall from some other point in my time and, you know, I guess growing, fucking, what's the pregnancy? During pregnancy. That thing.
Yeah, the 9-month-long process.
During that, fuck.
Carrying a baby to term.
To term, yeah. I think those things could have minor effects down the road, whereas anything internal will have major effects. It's macro and
A bad sense of direction is pretty major, man.
Do you feel like you have a bad sense of direction because your mom was like, shit?
No, I have a good sense of direction.
Is it because your mom has a good sense of direction?
I barely know which way is, like, north. I don't know my cardinal direction is, like, based on...
No, okay.
I know north is that general direction.
If I could find the sun, I will always know north because I know the sun rises in the east and sets in the west.
Yes.
So I learned that when I was really little, and it stuck with me. That and moss always grows facing
Well, the
society.
north is more that way because the sun sets over there.
There you go. It's intuitive, right? It makes sense when you can put it into something like that. It's a little astrological, but
I just go based on the freeway,
that works too.
the 101 northbound.
Okay. I mean, that's how you want to do it. But no matter where you are in a forest or in the world, you could always be like, east is over there.
What if you're in, like, Alaska or the South Pole where the sun just spins in the sky.
I would have also accepted Australia
That doesn't really happen.
because that's in
there.
reverse. That doesn't really matter if you're in Australia or Alaska, you're fucked anyway. Like,
Well, it doesn't happen in Australia. Antarctica.
you're right. You're fucked anyway because you probably can't live there without like satellite radios in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you can. How the fuck would a satellite not work there? That makes no sense.
wait, no, I'm saying satellites would work there. I'm saying you couldn't survive there without like satellite communications in the first place. Because if you get snowed in by a snowstorm and you don't have a phone or a satellite radio to call anybody, you're gonna fucking die of starvation in the middle of fucking Iceberg City.
What does it have to do with telling directions?
I don't know. You fucking came at me, dog. So
I didn't understand what you said, and now I do.
okay.
I just want to know, like, how would they tell direction if they didn't have a compass?
Do you think Arizona is inhabitable for human life?
Yes. Arizona is way more habitable than fucking Los Angeles.
Do you remember that library we went to when we read that and it said like, here's a statue to all the irrigators?
Yeah, the peacocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without that irrigation system, without people realizing, oh, we could just bring water in, do you think we could survive without those pipelines of water or whatever it is that is keeping them alive? Like, without that branch of technology?
Can you repeat the question?
Could you survive in the desert without water?
No.
My statement is you couldn't survive in the Antarctic without technology. Because you would need knives to kill. You would need to kill and harbor.
I'm just asking, the sun sense of cardinal direction doesn't work over there because the sun either just spins in the sky or there's no sun.
And I basically made a joke being like, well, you're fucked anyway because you couldn't. It's not a place that's meant to be inhabited anyway.
People just work there.
But there's no real sense of. There's no necessity to. Let me
keep seeing
Let me
TikToks.
check myself before I wreck myself.
I keep seeing TikToks
Is
about
Antarctica the place we're talking about? Just
people. South Pole.
South Pole. South Pole.
South Pole.
Santarctica.
Antarctica.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Yes, the South Pole. Arctica.
There it is. Content. Resources.
They're in the dark time right now.
The possible resources include silver, copper, gold, nickel, platinum, iron, ore, chromium, cobalt, molybdenum, zinc, magnesium, lead, titanium, nickel, and uranium. Coal and hydrocarbons have been located in mineral, non-commercial quantities. All the resources are yet to be exploited. So, it seems like the only reason to be there is to mine.
They do science shit there. I don't know what they do.
Build bombs. I mean, you basically have all these raw materials.
There's a station. It's about 300 feet from the geographical South Pole. Some guy on TikTok talks about it all the time.
Lots of fossil fuels. No wonder that shit's melting.
They changed the marker of the South Pole. Like they have a little, they call it a globe on top of it, on top of the pole, and they change it every year.
Why?
Just designed to mark like the team that's there and whatnot for the year.
Oh, I thought you meant like they're saying like this is the top of the world now.
No, they just changed the ball at the top of the flagpole.
Oh, that makes sense. I thought you meant like they're like this isn't this L.A. It's not L.A. anymore. It's Wisconsin.
No.
I was like, why? I was like, you can't just change coordinates and shit like that.
I don't think they're melting the ice on purpose, but I saw in his TikTok the guy said it was negative 80 degrees Celsius, and I was like, okay, that's pretty fucking cold.
I don't know how the ice melts in that temperature anyway.
Yeah, it probably shouldn't be melting.
I shouldn't be melting in negative 80.
So don't trust your scientist. Trust nobody. Go there yourself.
Find out.
Yeah. The fucking...
You think you could pee your pants without the stream freezing before it hits the ground?
Yes.
You just piss in icicles?
No. I don't think it's an instantaneous freeze.
I think it is.
Well, then you wouldn't be able to open your mouth outside because the water inside of your mouth And thus your entire
Well, your
organ
bo-
system
you-
would shut down in
your
a
in-
matter of seconds.
Your internal temperature is running at 98, and it's constantly trying to stay
you know how
warm.
cold negative 80 degrees Celsius is?
I have no idea.
Yes.
Celsius
Yes.
minus 200.
112.
I said minus 200, so fucking. That's still insane though. Like,
And water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 Celsius.
it's insane.
But you can open your mouth and whatnot and spit and have it not freeze instantaneously.
I guess it's kind of like saying if it's 100 degrees out here, we could spit without it boiling.
Yeah. Even though water boils at 100 Celsius and...
That was the first burp you've ever burped that smelled really good. It smelled like garlic salt.
Hey, baby.
What'd you have?
Nothing?
Nothing?
That's
You
not
just
true.
smell like garlic salt when you're not doing anything?
32... Oh, no.
32
boil.
degrees.
I'm looking at boiling.
It's 100.
212 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Water boils.
How the fuck did we get here?
We talked about
we're in Antarctica all of a sudden.
We talked about deterministic factors of pregnant women, and you said no.
I said yes, but in
You said no.
micro and macro forms, depending on
You said
the
no to
stimuli.
what I proposed.
But I'm open-minded to it. And it was a great question.
It makes me sad.
I'm sorry. Yes. Do you think expand? What do you think? Here's the thing.
I mean,
can you give an example of you living the way you live because of what you said is deterministic?
I have no way of knowing. I don't know what my mom did when she was pregnant with me.
Got any weird fetishes and you want to try to justify it, or
No.
I feel like this is the thing. I feel
I'm
like
very vanilla.
I feel like you would need to say something like, when I was in my mom's belly, my parents and family took a trip to Canada at one point. And there's pictures of the whole family holding lobster. For me, I'd have to be like, and I love seafood because of that. Do you see what I'm saying?
I raced toy boats in Florida when I was a wee lad.
Were you in your mom's belly?
No.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I was a child.
I was still in my mom's belly being born, and I saw these pictures, and everyone told me, like, we went to Canada before you were born. Here's a picture of us on a boat holding lobsters. And me being like, oh, shit, I love lobster.
That's a deterministic factor that happened because your mom was pregnant with you.
And that's what I'm saying. Do you have anything like that to back
No.
up your thesis?
No. But I have you.
For me to give my lobster theory?
Yeah.
But I need you to come up with something because that's what's going to make it more plausible. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're mixing science and philosophy right now. We're going, best of both worlds.
I don't know. I've never talked to my pregnant mom. I've never asked about stories like,
Ask
hey,
her,
Mom,
be like, hey, Mom, when you were pregnant, how often did you go to the beach?
did you ever take public transportation?
Be like, Mom, how often did you go to the beach? And she'll be like, all the time when I was pregnant with you. And you'd be like, that's so crazy because I eat sand now. And I love eating sand.
She could have had a cat. She could have had a cat in a litter box.
What?
Cat's basically shit
How did
in
that
sand.
connect in your brain?
Sand.
Sand? Cat shit and sand. Litter box. Litter boxes don't use sand. They use litter.
It's basically sand.
It's sand-like. It's textured. It's not actual sand.
Outside of my house in North Hollywood, when my roommates had cats, there was a plot of sand. And the cats would always go out there and take shits and pisses. And not in their litter box, which was beneficial for us because it made the house smell because they didn't clean it. But they would poop outside in the sand. In a little sandbox.
That's good.
Therefore, cats poop in sand.
Cat smell is the worst smell.
It depends.
The worst smell.
It depends.
Okay,
If there's a lot of cats that aren't cared for, yes. If you don't clean the litter regularly, yes. If you take care of it, cats don't smell that bad.
I'm thinking about it right now, and I feel it. It's gross.
The problem is indoor-outdoor cats.
What's the difference?
Well, if you have
one's indoor, one's outdoor.
if you have a cat that sleeps inside and goes outside during the day and gets all
Did the flames freeze?
No.
It's minus 212 degrees.
You can still...
Isn't that crazy though? Hold up. It was minus 212 degrees, right? Which is
112.
Oh.
212
Damn.
for water to boil.
I was like, damn, if water boils at 212 and it's minus 212, that should be enough to flash freeze. Like, on that scale, you know, if 100 Celsius is enough to boil water, minus 100 Celsius should be enough to freeze water instantly. Instantly.
You'd think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like
That's what I'm
intuition.
saying. Yeah. Intuitively on a scale. I don't think it scales like that, but it should. They should base the models around that.
Indoor, outdoor cats. So if you have a cat that lives indoors but like fucks off outside during the day, gets all the outside smells, probably goes through some trash, fights a rat or two, and then comes back inside, tracking mud and shit. It's all dirty. Cats like to roll around in the dirt. And then comes back inside with
And
all...
they just lick themselves. They're like, I'm clean. Yeah, hairball.
Yeah, they introduce all their outside smells inside of your clean house. So if you have a cat that's just purely never goes outside indoors, it doesn't get those outside smells. But if you have an outside cat and never comes inside, then it's just outside smells outside.
I've had plenty of roommates with indoor cats, and they all smell like shit.
And your roommates don't just take care of their cats.
That's sad. Yeah, that's gross.
Cats aren't that bad. I'm just allergic. I'm a little biased.
I like cats, but it's like...
They're mean.
I'd rather have a dog. You saw the way Rolo, like, bundled up with me. He just wanted to chill and do that. For cats, it's like, does that happen? Yeah. But it's so much more rare.
Depends on the cat.
I'm not gonna go out of my way. I could go up to a stranger's dog, pet it, it'll jump on me, lick me, and be cool. I go up to a stranger's cat, they're like, "Fuck you, get out of here."
My roommate's cats loved me. I'd come home from work. I'd lay
But
down
you
on
lived
my,
with them.
like fucking day 4.
I lived with cats with my roommates' cats, and they didn't fucking like me.
Well, I would leave my door open, get home from work, lay down. The cat Salem would come, jump all over me, cuddle, lay down right on my chest.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's only happened once for me.
happen all the time. White people smell like wet dog. You saw it on TikTok. Like when they get wet, or
Yeah, or just like all the
in
time.
general. I don't think so. I did buy a new deodorant by Harry's, the razor makers. It smells like shit, but it works.
Like it stops you from sweating and smells like shit.
Yeah, it's
I feel like it's not working then because
its scent is stone and it smells like gross. It's not a good scent. It's not like a...
But it's better than your body sweat scent.
I mean, I don't smell. I don't think. I don't know. But I like the deodorant. It's nice. Cat that lives on our street, she comes back. I can't fucking read it all. Begging to be petted and flops on the ground. Those are the cool cats. The chill cats. Cats that don't care. But the cats that are high strung...
Those cats can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, those are the cats you kick.
I got a
Your turn.
good story about cats, actually. It was funny. I met this guy at a bar. We're drinking. And he's like, old dude.
I would hope you're drinking at a bar. Why else would you be there?
Right. Just like, hey, milk. And I'm basically drinking with this old dude. And he's telling me, like, his life story. And, like, he's saying stuff and saying stuff and saying stuff. And he's like, yeah, I'm a son of a bitch. And I'm like, damn, dude.
Cool.
That's crazy. And he's like, yeah, killed my neighbor's cat. I was like, what? He's like, let me tell you. This cat would always come and shit in my yard. So one day I poured some milk and then I got some antifreeze, poured it under. And because antifreeze is thinner than milk, I don't know if that's true.
The densities.
It goes below the milk. The cat drinks the milk, drinks the antifreeze. The next day, the cat's dead. And
That's pretty fucking smart.
And they woke up, and the cat was just laying in the neighbor's front yard. And he's like, you killed my cat. I know you did. And he's like, what the fuck? I didn't kill your cat. It's like, it's just dead right there. And he's like, I don't know how you did it, but you killed my cat. You mad because it shits in your yard. And he's like, well, he shouldn't be shitting in my yard. And
You need the fucking toxicology report on that.
yeah, well, no one's gonna pay for that because you'd still toxicology report one thing. Then you have to prove that he, in fact, toxified the cat.
Who gave the cat antifreeze?
Yeah, which I guess would be my expert opinion on a podcast. But he's like, yeah, I'm a son of a bitch. I've done so many things I don't feel good about. I'm a bad person.
How old is he? About.
He's like 80, like way too old to put him in jail. Like he killed a cat. Who cares? But like, I guess it was a long time ago too. But like, dude, there's definitely a statute of limitation for killing animals.
It's like a month.
But dude, like, he's just like, yeah, did a lot of things. Kill my neighbor's cat's one of them. It's like,
Cool, dude.
what the fuck, man? You just get drunk and pour your heart out to strangers?
Yeah. Did he try to sleep with you?
No, I'm having a dry spell. Dudes don't buy me drinks and want to suck my dick anymore. So Bill Cosby too old for jail. He's actually getting out.
Yeah. He is. He only served 2 years out of his 3 to 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he just because he's old or good behavior? He's like,
Well, the highest court in Philadelphia overturned the ruling. So they determined that he didn't do anything. I don't know the specifics, but they overturned the ruling. That's what happened.
You've served a 30-year sentence. And we've decided you didn't do it.
I'd be pissed at
What
that
the
point.
fuck, dude? I just lost 3 years of my life, and I've only got like maybe 5 to go. Are you kidding me?
That's when you see the state make millions of dollars and you blow it on hookers and cocaine.
On GHB and good times.
Because cocaine's a hell of a drug, according to Wasabi.
I've been getting a lot of those TikTok videos where it's like dudes breaking down how to pee in a urinal. Do you ever get those?
No.
Can I show you one?
Sure. Like the urinal etiquette, like skipping one?
Yeah.
Or like how to like strategically angle the piss on the wall of the urinal?
Are you seeing the other one where you
Yes.
strategically angle the piss?
No, but to agree with Goshen, Bill Cosby 100% did. He admitted it.
Yeah, he did. For sure he did.
He said himself that he did it. But they're like, eh.
So it's just like a long story for those of you who can't see it. It's a dude, he made like a PowerPoint presentation about like how to pee in a urinal. He's like, if there's 3, you can use 1 and 3, never
Yeah,
use
etiquette.
2, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I share the bathroom with strangers all the time at bars and shit. Are people just pussies? Like, is this... Do you wake up fearing peeing next to a stranger at a urinal? Is that a real thing?
It depends
I don't believe it.
on the scenario, right? So if there's 2 urinals in a public place, like my Target has...
Bro, I'm going to use the urinal if I got to piss. I don't care if you're next to me.
100%. My Target has, in their front public restroom, has 2 urinals and 2 stalls. The 2 urinals, they're right next to each other. There's no wall in the middle. And they're weird sloping bowls. So like you can put your fucking chest to it if you want, and it would cover everything. You could hide everything. Why you would do that, I don't know. You would. Did you send it to him?
I just did.
Okay. You'd get your chest all wet. But like, if you're just standing straight, and looking at the wall, perfectly perpendicular to it, and the person came up next to you, and if they chose to look at your shit, your Johnson, they'd see it. So like, you kind of gotta angle yourself to. I don't want a kid looking at my wiener.
Do you see how much work that is? Okay, I
literally
remember
no
being in
effort.
high school, and it was the same thing. There was a fucking line, and by the time I was the 3rd one in line, there was a middle one open. I went and took a piss, and everyone looked at me like I fucking killed their mom. I remember that, and like, it's been a thing. It's always been a thing, but it's like, bro, really, like,
You're just comfortable with your masculinity.
that's what I'm saying, though. Maybe I'm Sigma. I don't Sigma balls, Sigma dick. I don't know how it goes, but like,
No, you're not.
whatever it is, bro. It's like, yo, people really wake up and they're worried about pissing next to strangers.
I'll pee in that.
We play swords, dude.
Don't tell them. I'll pee in my public Target bathroom, but I'll take a shit in the private employee bathroom because I don't want to poop in those front bathrooms.
I agree, Ghost Hand. If you want to look at my dick, look at my dick. Get it over with. Go about your day. I gotta pee now. I'm not gonna wait.
I poop in my private bathroom.
I guess I understand pooping, but peeing is like...
I'm not going to walk to the back of the store to take a piss. I'll wait until there's no one in there and then go pee.
Really?
Yeah.
If I gotta go, dude, I'm gonna go. That's a real thing for you, like, anyway, like... If you saw someone on the far left urinal, you'd go... If you saw someone on the 1 in 3 urinal, would you use the second urinal?
No.
You wouldn't. You'd wait.
Unless I'm going to piss my pants right then and there, no. I'd wait.
But you showed up to the bathroom to go pee, and you're going to hold it a little bit longer?
It's not...
Open urinal?
It's not urgent. No.
But you went to the bathroom to go pee, and you're like, I'm going to hold it.
Most times I go to the bathroom, I'm like, I could pee. It's like, I could eat. Not hungry. Not full. I could eat. I could pee. Not full on piss. Not empty on piss.
You're just always walking around with that half tank of everything.
I could pee.
My stomach's half full. My bladder's half full. I could go either way.
Yeah.
You want to party? Let's party.
I could force myself to piss right now. Not right now, because I just feel...
Do it right now.
I forced myself to piss before the show started.
I did too, actually. But that's my point. Is like I'm blown away by these people on TikTok, and like that dude probably looks 20.
It's stupid, arbitrary guy rules.
That I don't follow, and it doesn't seem like is real.
So you're a woman. Why are you gay?
How did you get to that conclusion?
It's quoting the funny...
I know, but I was like, I'm cool with peeing in the men's bathroom, and you're like, so you're a woman? Like, no, I'm in the men's bathroom, so you have a vagina. No.
If you don't follow guy rules, you follow woman rules.
No, because look, here's the guy rules. The men's bathroom is far more efficient than the female's bathroom. You're in and out, handle your business, go back about your...
So I shouldn't sit down at the urinal.
No.
Do you put your pants around your ankles in the urinal too, or...
Wasabi does. We know he does. No, that's the thing. I go if I gotta go. I don't ever like hold it.
It's not urgent when you go, or you're not. You don't wait.
If it's urgent, here in my experience, if it's urgent, I'll just go outside. I'll go piss on a tree. I'm not gonna. If it's urgent, I'm not gonna go walk into a bathroom. I'm gonna go find a place to piss. A dumpster, a tree, a wall, whatever. If it's urgent, I'm doing it right now. If I'm like, oh man, I've had like 2 or 3 beers, I gotta take a piss. I'm gonna run to the bathroom, and there's a spot open on the wall. I'm taking that spot on the wall, homie. Like I'm not even. But if it's urgent, I'm like outside drinking. I'm like, oh man, it's happening now. I wasn't even paying attention to it till it happened. Like a road trip.
See, I'm always aware of my piss tank.
Like a road trip. It's like if we're driving on the way to San Diego and I gotta take a piss, I was like, hey man, just pull over at a gas station. I gotta go pee. If I gotta go pee.
Not even a gas station.
But if I'm like, bro, I'm gonna piss my pants right now. I'm telling you to pull over and we'll just fucking.
You just do it and don't tell
find
anybody.
a bush. Yeah.
Just piss your pants.
No.
So like, what's that smell? I don't know.
Your seat's wet, by the way.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It was wet when I got here.
He was joking, I hope, about the shitting in the urinal part.
No, you just sit down to pee.
Has anyone ever been to China? I heard China has like...
Just a fucking hole.
There's just holes in the ground.
That's like...
You just literally squat over it.
I kind of like the urinals that go all the way to the ground. Those are pretty fucking cool.
I know, Wasabi. It was someone's birthday or something, wasn't it? It was like a...
That's when we went with Alec and Oscar.
Yeah.
Or we found Alec. And Oscar was in town.
Yeah, I remember that. Went out for a ciggy.
No birthdays. I don't think.
Anyway, I just remember it was like Oscar was there or something. It was a bigger thing. But yeah, dude.
Wasabi, you don't even smoke anymore.
That was an excuse. But that's what I'm saying is like I would never like feel that. Like I've never like took a piss. I felt definitely like I've definitely had guys like look at my junk before while taking a piss.
Ooh.
But it's never been like, ugh, don't look at me. I'm just trying to pee. You're not following the social code.
Some people are shy.
Not the ones who want to look at my dick. Not the guys who are like, And they make eye contact after too. It was always weird. I even another one too. It's how it be though. I just
Japanese ground urinals.
I don't
Got
want
it.
to. I'm getting disgusted the more I talk about this shit.
I'm surprised I typed everything correctly.
Japanese ground and urinals. You're a king.
Those look like bathtubs.
I mean, it kind of is just a urinal, but laying down.
Yeah, it looks like a bathtub in the floor. Can you poo in there too?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
That's what the bathrooms are in China, I guess. You're just supposed to squat over it like a fucking bear. You should throw it up on the screen.
Well, I gotta make sure everything's safe.
Japanese ground and urinals. You're good. If it was Japanese schoolgirl and panties, you'd be fucked.
I just don't want to see fucking piss receptacles and show the people piss receptacles.
It's basically a porta potty, but like
These are the
flush to
these
the
are the ones
ground.
you're talking about in China.
Yeah,
Except they're not as nice.
smaller hole too. Really got to aim.
What the fuck did I Google to get here? These are what I'm talking about. These are the ones I like.
The big wall ones. Yeah, the big wall ones are great.
This one is what he's referring to. Basically just a fucking hole in the ground. But without porcelain.
And it smells like shit because they don't have the little U in the plumbing. So all the shit, it's like a porta potty. Just smell it all. It's just always there.
I kind of like that smell.
Of shit?
Like porta potties.
Porta potty, sure, but they don't have the fucking...
I don't mind.
Oh my god.
Take me back.
Take me home, country road.
Outhouses. That's the word.
Outhouses, yeah. Outhouses are like porta potties.
It's been 6 months since my last Google account visit.
Damn.
I use
a long time.
I use the account every day.
We need to talk about the student debt crisis, Josh.
No such thing.
We need to talk about why it's a crisis
It's not a crisis.
and why it's white privilege. And why your white ass is soaking up all the benefits right now.
So I got my financial aid offer for my California university about 4 days ago. I accepted it and declined some of it.
Why would you decline some of it?
The things I declined were the loans.
Oh, you have to pay back?
It's a loan. Yes.
Okay.
You pay back all loans.
All right, you don't have a fucking cop an attitude. Damn.
I had zero attitude. My voice stayed the same. So that means I always have an
You
attitude.
sound sassy as fuck, boy.
My tone didn't change. So I declined all my student loans. The loans were $7,000 and $5,500. So I declined $12,500 worth of money. But I accepted $9,900 and $9,943 worth of free money.
About 10 grand.
About 10 grand. And my semesters cost about $4,000. So I'm getting paid again to go to a California state school. Hell yes. College system's broken. This shit's easy. Drops mics, walk away.
You just made
I made...
7 grand.
They offered me $22,000 for a single school year. That's more than I make in a fucking regular year. Assuming I
insane.
take student loans as well and pay those back.
So
eventually.
basically, they were like, you could pay the student. The government was like, yo, you could pay the school back, or you could pay us back.
Yes, basically. Thank you, Wasabi. So now all the money I have saved, I'm going to pay off my existing student loan that I don't have to pay until 2024. I'm going to pay that off 3 years early.
Here's what I would like. I would like Biden to send me an email being like, hey, we gave everyone this much student debt forgiveness. Do you also want $10,000 of free money?
You're not a really student anymore, though.
I am still enrolled.
You need to reapply. What's up, Whimsy?
Hey, Whimsy. Is Whimsy High
Troy?
School?
I don't know what the HS stands for.
Concha.
That's Troy. He wants you to set up. Or
Oh,
not
we're doing
you
the
to set
gambling
up.
night?
I mean, whenever you're available. Whenever
Troy,
you wanna do
so
it.
I'm going to Utah next week, but when I come back, we can set that gambling night up, man. That sounds dope. I'm super glad that you guys are down with that. That'd be a lot of fun.
You would have enjoyed the party.
Well, I never got invited, and even though
I know.
everyone was like, we should invite Alec all the time, and you send me text messages, hey, Alec should come through.
The one person that invited you to hang out with the target group is the person we don't talk to anymore.
Yeah.
So she shot herself in the foot with that one.
One day they'll break up and it'll all be worked out.
No, it won't.
Because teenage love lasts forever.
They're not even teenagers. Regardless, Hearthstone, but high school is the joke answer I use.
Nice.
You'd probably like Hearthstone.
I would. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically, right?
Kinda.
Yeah.
But using Warcraft characters.
Oh, fuck yeah. Even better.
And World of Warcraft.
My only other thing I want to say about the student debt is I realized how unfair it was because there's people who go get a bachelor's degree and then go back for a master's degree, and their job will pay for it, or they'll use the money they get with the job they got from the bachelor's degree, and they will go get their master's and get more money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a rich get richer, poor stay poor kind of thing. And that's why I don't like it, because it's definitely like a privileged thing to where like you could really only go and get your master's if you get all the scholarships and are a genius, or you have a job that wants to help you out with that. And now on top of that, they're also being like, hey, just forget about $10,000 of your student debt. Which if I was receiving it, I'd be like, cool. But it also is just kind of saying, hey, people who are in that position to receive education, a higher education, here's an extra break. Here's an extra load off.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. And now everyone who didn't have the opportunity to go to college or didn't get the financial aid is also now not receiving more financial aid, and they're just giving it to the students who did go to school. Yeah, exactly.
But the aid I'm getting is
I love gambling. Let's go.
Is covering my tuition fees. I'll have about $1,000 left over.
That's so good though for like a college like debt.
Yeah.
That's super reasonable.
Yeah, my college debt is literally $5,000
It's insane.
for the entire 2 years I'm there.
That's insane.
Yeah, system's broken. I love it. It also depends on like what school you go to. I'm lucky to go to a very cheap
Affordable.
state school.
Yeah.
If I went to like maybe a CSD.
CSD.
Yeah. Or like a university of California type situations, it'd be more expensive. The state schools are notoriously cheap.
Damn, man. Damn. Well, they probably saved a bunch of money just moving into that abandoned mental hospital.
That's also pretty tiny.
Yeah. Nice campus though.
Never been.
If I was crazy, yeah. If I was crazy, that's definitely the campus I'd want to be locked up into.
I have classes in the bell tower. Where that is, what that means, I don't know.
Every time I hear Bell Tower, just think of the Quasimodo.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame would be a cool school to go to. That's the thing, though. Is
private
like
school?
people who are going to like private schools, like UCLA, they're like $10,000. That's all you're taking off. My dad's paying for the rest.
Well, it's broken down on like expected family contribution. Like no matter what, even if you live by yourself, there's an expected family contribution to your.
I did actually read that.
Schooling?
There was
It's in every financial aid breakdown.
during the tax law. Remember, it was they're expected to pay for your parents are expected to pay for basically your college career.
Well, I mean, it's just something that's factored in. It's expected.
Does your school have good skate sports?
I
You got
guess. I believe it.
hockey and shit.
What?
Skate sports.
Spots. Skateboarding.
Oh, I read it as sports. I'm sorry.
You said hockey, and I was very confused.
Well, I thought it said
I thought you
skate
meant
sports.
hockey, HAKI, hockey. One Piece hockey.
No.
I was like, what are you talking about?
That's how you know you're a weeb.
That's all I knew. I was just confused.
The next two things I have written down are pretty dumb, but we could take a swing at them
What else is new?
if you want. Let me just clear all my emails because they popped up because I misclicked. Missed input. So I'll start with the slow one. I watched the movie Robots last night, and
The animated movie.
again, it's TikTok creeping into my life, telling me how to live. And basically, what happened was I was like, everyone says it's a good movie, I'll watch it.
It's got Robin Williams and Ewan McGregor.
I watched it. Movie was okay, but there's always a scene in the kids' movie, I'm realizing, where they go, "Don't look down," and then someone looks down and they panic.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know if it's a metaphor or if it's just an easy writing thing. Do you think anyone founded the metaphor of don't look down, don't look back kind of thing as being a kid? Because basically this robot moves to the big city,
Yes.
and it's like, don't look down. And then he looks down and he freaks out.
The thing is, it's capitalizing on the fear of heights, which is a very common fear that people don't like. So
Just easy writing.
as soon as you say oh, we're high up, and they point it out, don't look down, and the person just happens to have a fear of heights and look down, it's like, oh, they don't realize it at first when they're up there, but as soon as they're reminded of it, it enacts.
It's like, don't pee in the urinal next to me. Pees in the urinal next to them.
No,
You're looking at my wiener. You guys made me ink.
no, not the same. But yes, it's 100% an easy gag.
Okay, and the next one's borderline conspiracy theory, so bear with me.
Okay.
I'm going to finish this and crack the next one open because you're way ahead.
What else is new?
All right. So, I did the voice to text, so I'm going to read it and I'll smooth it out as we go.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what I got. Saying it was designed, but if people went crazy during coronavirus, did the government expect that would happen? And if the people who didn't go crazy, does that mean those people have issues, or do they have a good circle of people around them? Now, obviously, that seems garbled. Let me kind of smooth this over.
Yeah, I got no fucking idea what you're trying to say.
I'm not sitting here saying the coronavirus was something that was manufactured by the governments of the world for population control or any other conspiracy theory. I'm saying if it was, and this is all a big conspiracy, do you think that they counted on people committing suicide and having drug overdoses due to the isolation and the quarantine in combination to the deaths coronavirus would already cause? And if people who didn't kill themselves or were able to keep their shit together, does that mean they're normal, antisocial, or does that mean that they just ignored policies? Think get a level deeper. Go conspiracy. Just go really out there. I know it's really weird, but this is the thought. This is the last thing I got.
You gotta slow it down for me, man. I'm illiterate.
Okay, so you're not reading, but
comprehension is very low for me.
Is coronavirus a virus released by the United States government?
No, it's from China.
Okay, it's released by China. Why did China release it? To declare war on the U.S.
You just
kill people?
You just need to get to your first thing of what that was. That that's where you lost me.
People died from coronavirus.
Correct.
But another large number that people don't look at of deaths because of coronavirus is drug overdose and suicide.
Based on quarantine?
Because of quarantine.
What's the time range?
For March 2020 to present day, to today and onward until
Quarantine.
Until coronavirus is long
So when
gone.
lockdown happened and then when restrictions were lifted.
Yep.
So about a year. Under the guise of, well, that's correlation. Not necessarily causation. It just kind of happened.
Well, it definitely.
'Cause if you have people who are just like, I got nothing to do, I gotta stay at home, might as well do what I do outside of in home. I think those people are gonna do what they're gonna do, whether they overdose on drugs or just commit suicide. I think they're gonna do that regardless.
I'm on CDC's website right now.
Okay.
I'm looking at the overdose deaths accelerated during COVID-19 article, and it says over 81,000 drug overdose deaths occurred in the United States in the 12 months ending in May 2020, the highest number of overdose deaths ever recorded in a 12-month period, according to recent provisional data from the Centers of Disease Control.
Is that from May 2019 to May 2020?
Yeah, it's a 12-month period.
So May 19 to May 20.
So they're only cutting it off from a 12-month period for a year, and it's the most recorded overdose deaths ever recorded.
But only 3 of those months are COVID months.
Hang on. Ending in May 2020, January, February, March, April, May. You're right.
Lockdown happened in March.
Well, people probably didn't pick up drug habits. They probably didn't see people overdose and was like, yeah, heroin seems like the right move. It kind of seems like people who had drug problems got their vice got the better half of them, and then
Which is why I would say it's gonna happen anyway. I mean,
but it was accelerated because of COVID.
well, yeah, they don't have to worry about like, oh, who's gonna see me do drugs? I can just do them freely in my own home instead of being outside. And be like, oh, I can't do drugs here. There's police, or oh, there's someone watching me. They're gonna call the police. Look up the estimated drug overdoses for a regular year. What was it in 2018 for a 12-month period?
Provisional data from the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention National Centers for Health predicted 68,500 Americans died of drug overdose in 2018.
That's only 11,500 more.
It is 81,000 to 60.
12,500.
Yeah.
It's not that much.
12. Yeah. It isn't a huge increase, is it?
No. If they were to count from March 2020 to March 2021, I don't think that data's out yet.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like that's the thing because they do it by the year.
Yeah. So for that data set, I would say it's just going to happen organically because there's no watchful eye. There's not the deterrent of other people around or police patrols. You don't have to worry about other people finding you or seeing you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. It will increase regardless of COVID. It's been on the rise since forever.
Yeah, as long as and it keeps going over the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, that's been a thing.
Opioids, mainly synthetic opioids other than methadone, are currently the main driver of drug overdose deaths. 72% of opioid-involved overdose deaths involve synthetic opioids.
Fentanyl.
Yep. And that's the crazy thing is like with fentanyl, it's like if you've never done meth or heroin, fentanyl will kill you like that instantly. And then if you have done meth or heroin, fentanyl will kill you just a little bit slower, maybe the second time. Like there's just no coming back from that. Even touching your skin can cause an overdose. That's the craziest thing. An officer went through someone's drug stash and he touched it with his bare skin and he overdosed and died.
The guy we had arrested at Target had fentanyl on him.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus. That's insane. But okay, so they they did or did not expect the death rate to rise from drug overdose, right?
Yeah, it just kind of happened.
Now let's talk about suicide. Suicide rate during COVID, right? I'm on the BMJ. They want me to accept the cookies. I accept the cookies. Suicide. Oh, fuck me, suicide rates haven't risen, but we should be cautious. Now, let's see.
The average adjusted suicide rate in 2019 was 13.9 per 100,000 individuals. So that's like
That's not too many either.
0.13%.
Yeah.
0.14 if you want to round.
And I'm not saying it's not a lot either, in a way of like saying it's not a big deal. It's obviously terrible if you have thoughts of suicide, seek professional help. But
U.S. suicides declined in 2020.
that's what I'm saying. Okay, yeah. Well, that's the thing is I've
The
just seen
least healthy state was Wyoming.
I've just seen so many things about suicide prevention and mental health awareness
From
lately.
where, though? Who has been putting out that information?
So I recently watched Bo Burnham's Inside comedy special, and it feels a little bit preachy in some places where he says, don't commit suicide. And then a lot of Instagram and social media is always saying, check up on your strong friends, stuff like that. And then I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, you're basically debunking my conspiracy theory that I dreamt up in a fever dream.
It's the thing of like you got to follow the money. Like who pays for the anti-smoking ads?
Smoking companies.
Tobacco companies.
Yeah.
So like who pays Bo Burnham to make these specials?
Netflix. And Netflix wants to seem hip.
And who pays Netflix? Who owns Netflix?
That's a good question. Reed Hastings.
What do they own?
That's a person. Reed Hastings, co-founder and CEO of Netflix, revolutionized how the world is entertained. He owns about 1% of Netflix, which went public in 2002. Hastings co-founded Netflix in 1995, the same year he sold his first company, Pure Software, to Rational Software. That's so... I never knew Netflix was so old. Netflix, to me, didn't come around to like middle school, high school, and it was just get DVDs mailed to you.
He's a board member of Kip and Dreambox, two other companies. I'm figuring out what they are. I have their Wikipedias opened. Kip,
and he only owns 1%.
Is Knowledge's Power Program. That's not what I want. Dreambox, online software provider focusing on mathematics education. So Reed Hastings seems like a good person.
His net worth is $5.2 billion.
That's pretty low considering the rest of the United States.
But he only owns 1% of Netflix. And that's his net worth.
Yeah.
Damn.
So Reed Hastings seems like a good person.
I mean, you haven't seen him in the news yet.
Based on
he looks like a trustworthy guy.
Based on the companies he's part of the board of membership, which is owning.
He seems like a really solid dude.
Yeah. He's all about education. Mm-hmm. So I think in the Bo Burnham scenario, that is independent. He's not being told to do this. He's doing it because he wants to. Mm. Now on the side of the social media aspect of it.
But he does, in the special, he does take shots at Jeffrey Bezos.
Everyone takes shots at Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, that's true.
That's easy target.
That's true. Good. Sorry.
And the side of the social media influencer saying, check up on your friends. Mm-hmm. That maybe they may be paid to do it. It depends. Like,
you think they're getting sponsorships from BetterHelp? Everyone's getting a sponsorship from BetterHelp, and they're like, "Hey, that's actually not bad because everyone gets a fucking sponsorship from BetterHelp."
I don't even know what BetterHelp is.
It's everywhere. Are you kidding me? It's like an app-based therapy service.
Never heard of it. Guess I don't need help.
Well, you just don't watch the
As
same
an online
YouTubers.
portal that provides direct-to-consumer access to mental health services. Yeah.
Yeah. And I bet everyone just gets those things, and BetterHelp just marketed the shit out of it, and they're like paying all these YouTubers. It's like Audible. Audible and BetterHelp are like the two main advertisers on YouTube. I'd honestly bet money on that. Let's look at some numbers, shall we?
If you can find them.
Top partnerships with YouTubers. I'm sure Audible's number one. Okay.
BetterHelp is located right behind the Mountain View Police Department. Right next to Oren's Hummus and Yugen Ramen in Mountain View, California.
Ramen sounds pretty good too. But we're getting pizza today.
Pizza.
These are just YouTubers who made a lot of money from YouTube.
And Raid Shadow NordVPN.
NordVPN.
And Raid Shadow Legends.
Those are all things you'll see.
But they're not going to tell you to check up on your friends so they don't kill themselves.
BetterHelp. Check up on your friends. Raid Shadow Legends. Kill your friends in video games.
Play free today.
Play free now.
AFK Arena.
Yeah, actually, you've debunked this pretty quickly. It probably is just follow the money, and like BetterHelp has just provided money for so many YouTubers. They're like mental health awareness, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Obviously, the numbers have gone down, so people aren't committing. So people are getting healthier, which is good.
One of the best examples of it was Men's Health Week, and
You should pull up the statistic.
everyone was sharing a post that was posted 5 days after they said it was Men's Health Week. People were posting this widespread post like, check up on your guy friends, or mental health is no joke. Men are fragile too. When men have like the highest rate of suicide amongst any marginalized group of people in the world.
Could you imagine that there's someone probably in the world who like gets divorced and then the husband kills himself and the wife is probably like, ugh, there goes my alimony.
Probably. But the kicker was that everyone was sharing this message
A week late.
basically a week late. And that's really shitty.
But yeah, it's all facts about.
Here's a good infographic. About half of the United States, 151 million people, 6 million of them have depression a year.
That end up committing suicide.
Well, they just have depression. Shit, I can just fucking scroll through this.
I was gonna say go. We're educating the people. We're not copyright infringing.
The major mental health problems affecting men are depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, psychosis, and schizophrenia, and eating disorders. That's me. Fast facts, suicide. Highest suicide rates in the U.S. are found in Caucasian men over the age of 85.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Old people?
They're probably widowers, and
Fuck, dude, that sucks.
male suicide rates have been on the rise since 2000. Suicide is the 7th leading cause of death among males, accounting for 2.2% of all male deaths in 2011.
Jesus. So when Ghost Hand's like, I don't want to come to America because it's guns, 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 and robbery, it's like, yeah, but also like one of those people who's going to shoot you is you. Top 10.
Yeah.
Like, if you make it here, that's great. But like, also, you're still one of the top 10 biggest threats to your own life.
If you come here, you're going to get sad.
Oh my God.
More than 4 times as many men as women died by suicide in the U.S. in 2010. A total of 38,364 Americans died by suicide, and over 79% of these suicides were men. Gay and bisexual men are more likely to develop mental health disorders than heterosexual men. Gay males are at an increased risk for suicide attempt, especially before the age of 25.
Wait, why do you want to fist bump that?
Because the bisexual men have more mental health issues than heterosexual men. They can't see what we're doing. The screen's blocking it.
Oh.
So it doesn't
Well, I'm not
matter.
going to fist bump that.
Straight men have less likely to receive it. Ayo. Factors including social isolation, substance abuse, and unemployment, military-related trauma, genetic predisposition, and other mood disorders. Why you put your hand on my shoulder?
I'm not going to kill myself, Josh.
Why?
Because I'm unemployed as fuck.
Get over it.
He said, fuck you.
And other mood disorders put individuals at a higher risk for suicide. Substance abuse, alcohol dependency, gay and bisexual men, military veterans, famous athletes with mental illness.
Basically every male job ever.
Brandon Marshall, Terry Bradshaw, Larry Sanders.
Terry
Keon-
Bradshaw killed himself?
No, he didn't kill himself. He has mental health illness.
Oh. I was like, what the fuck?
Suffered frequent panic attacks after games. He was diagnosed with clinical depression in the late 90s.
Damn. That was forever ago.
Brazil has problems too.
Who?
Brazil.
Oh, I'm not looking at the chat.
Huge problems with suicide. Check the Brazilian stats. are as scary as the
I'll
US
bring up
ones.
some Brazilian stats.
Jim Purcell and Earl Campbell. Science. Low levels of testosterone are correlated with depression, stress, and mood swings, especially among older men. Seek treatment. They're reluctant to talk social norms, downplaying symptoms. And that's the end.
Highest suicide rates based in male. We're gonna go all time. So highest suicide rates of all time. I'll just name the top 10. Yeah. I can't actually pronounce most of these countries. Lesotho, Guyana, Eswatini, Kiribati, Micronesia, Suriname, Zimbabwe, South Africa,
Mozambique.
Central African Republic. Top 10 countries for all-time highest suicide rates. Among males, it is lost though.
It's like the same fucking
It's
list.
basically the same list.
Just add Russia. and
Russia's
swap out.
Russia's ninth on the list, and then female is from highest. Damn, where is lost though? Africa. Oh man, that's a small place.
It's the southern tip of Africa.
It's per capita,
Per 100,000, yeah.
so there is a lot of suicide per 100,000 in the smaller countries. There's a lot of suicide in those smaller countries. Damn.
Check up on your dudes.
Brazil's 23rd. Brazil does have a high suicide rate. That's
Especially
just female.
Especially in... No, that was in men.
No, that was the female list I had it selected, but I'll look for Brazil right now.
The men is on the left. Females are on the right.
United States is 31, but it's ordered based on that's bottom
Right.
top.
It's still going to be on the left, and the female was only 2, male was 10.
But it's not ordered in place based on what I clicked on. It's based on this column, not
Right.
the other ones.
I get that. Men was still 10, female was still 2 for Brazil.
Was it really?
Yes.
So Brazil should be number 10?
No. Order it alphabetical, my guy.
That's a good idea. Afghanistan. Brazil.
Right there. 10.3 to 2.8. 10.3 men, 2.8 women per 100,000 people.
So almost five times more men kill themselves in Brazil than women. Whammon. Let's see where the U.S. ranks. We are probably in the U section, right?
Just control F it.
United States.
22.4 men per 100,000.
Compared to 6.8 women.
So yeah, men's mental health is no joke. And I don't appreciate
Wow.
seeing a post advocating for it 2 days before the weekends of men's mental health week. I'm not going to say anything because it's not that big of a fucking issue and I don't really care that much. But don't pretend to care.
That's exactly like when like Lil Peep dies or something and someone throws up a Lil Peep post. That irks me too because like when Pop Smoke died, everyone's like rest in peace Pop Smoke. They don't know. I don't know who Pop Smoke was before he died, and it's like that's more disrespectful to pretend to follow a trend.
Yeah, don't pretend to care about men's issues.
Yeah, either do it. It's the same thing. Like
Be about it or not.
yeah, it's like do Black Lives Matter only during an election or do they matter all the time?
All the time.
And that's one of those things where people can very easily sell themselves out because it's like it's not trending anymore.
Who still has it in their bio?
Yeah.
I'm looking at you all.
It's also like all the memes you're seeing too about like Pride Month being ended and it's like
All the companies
all the
changing their
companies
logos
are
back.
changing their colored
Yeah,
logos back.
Today's the last day. Mm-hmm. Everyone change your profile pictures back to regular colors, not rainbows.
Just goddamn insane.
Fucking hate people.
Yeah, Brazil is 23 of historical suicides. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Go Sam, we're in this together.
Yeah, that's pretty tough, bro. I didn't realize. And oh my God, Australia's super high up on the list too. Australia's number 8.
Well, it's either die by a spider or die by your own hand. You know, they probably just ended themselves to end the misery from a snake bite.
Afghanistan, Albania, Algeria, Angola, Antigua, Argentina, Armenia, Australia, Austria, and Azerbaijan are the top 10 countries with the highest suicide rates historically. From 2000 to 2019. Sorry. Based on this data.
It's all 20 years of data.
So 20 years of suicides, those are the top 10. Yeah, it's... Oh, jeez. Where does the U.S. fall?
Control F it. Command F.
Nope. Oh. Oh, there it is. What the fuck?
Type out United States.
170. But that might not be...
Scroll down. 176.
Of all time, we're
175.
175th. Of all time, we're 175th. Under United Kingdom, just above Uruguay. And below Tanzania. That's so crazy. It's mind blowing to me that all these countries have to take data on this. I wonder where Mexico falls and Canada. Mexico's 107th. And Canada is all over the goddamn map. 31st in every category except for
males and females. 31st for males and females.
Yeah. 31st in every category except for the 43rd and between 1985 and 2019.
So 40 years of data.
So they've held 31st place for a long time. There's a lot of suicides in Canada too. Jesus.
Sad world, sad times.
Oh my God. I did not expect Canada to be so fucking...
Yeah, you think they're all polite.
Yeah.
Every bottle of maple syrup hides pain.
God. Damn. Yeah, look. This is not a list you want to be on top of.
Oh yeah, Freshly Bathed is from Canada.
Are you?
The cold gets to us. Yeah.
Dude. Oh, I haven't had the chat open basically this whole time. I'm just looking up stats.
You haven't missed anything.
But, dude, Freshly Bathed, if you're from Canada, I don't know how hard it is up there, but you're 200 places above us. And mental health right now seems to be trending as fuck. So much right now.
It's artificially trending.
It's artificially trending because of probably BetterHelp and Dogecoin. And that's the thing, right? It's all just trends. I wonder what happens. What are the real numbers of America? You know, not the marketing numbers, the real numbers, the numbers that when you really look at it, what are the numbers that matter to America? Do you think? Because national debt's been overlooked.
GDP.
GDP is overlooked because that's correspondent to national debt. The national debt has officially surpassed the yearly GDP of America.
I mean, we still care about the GDP. It's
I
very
don't
important.
Don't worry about it.
As a country, the top officials care about the GDP. Economists care about the GDP. I would know. I have an economics degree.
And since you're so qualified to talk about it with your economics degree, how important is the GDP and why is the GDP so important?
Well, your GDP is a reflection of how wealthy your country is. So the higher your GDP,
domestic product.
Yes, per capita,
Per 100,000.
Per amount of citizens.
Per amount of selected number.
Yeah.
Is it not just generically 100,000 people?
It can be
These
whatever
are
you
good
want.
beers,
Yeah, it's
say.
a scale. So if it's per 10,000, it's just drop a zero.
However you scale it.
Yeah, it can scale to anything.
Cool.
So when you look at a country's GDP, it shows you how well that country is doing economically. The higher the GDP, the better. The lower the GDP, the worse. So the higher a country's GDP is, the better the country is doing economically, financially. They have more money, more spending money. That's basic economics, man. Ask me a harder economics question.
With your degree, let me show off my degree.
With my economics degree.
Well, let's jump to Ghost Hand's comment real quick. He said, "This is not that women kill themselves less; it's that men generally use more violent methods than women like guns.
Well, I mean,
Does that mean the suicides are more effective? Because the numbers I was looking at said that more men die than women.
at the end of the day, a death is a death. It doesn't matter how it happened.
Yeah. And I wasn't looking at like the means of suicide. I was looking at numbers of suicide.
I mean, it could be like if women choose to take pills and die in their sleep, then that might not be as
Overdose.
effective. Where a gun's
A little more effective.
pretty fucking high chance of it being effective one-shot KO.
Yeah. That was weird. But yeah. I don't want to laugh about suicide, but damn. Yeah.
You could have bad aim. Yeah, that could happen.
I've seen people survive suicide attempts and basically become brain dead. Super sad. Super sad thing to see.
Yeah. That was a vegetable. I'd ask to my family to respect me and
pull the plug.
Not keep me alive.
Yeah. It's funny too, like how that's like a thing for most people is like, if something happens, do not keep me alive.
Your quality,
it's a conversation you have to have.
Your quality of life is basically zero.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, in that, not Neil Patrick Harris. What's the other guy? The astronomer, the black guy.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. And in the Neil deGrasse Tyson video I saw recently, he said, "What is life? Is it your heart beating but your brain dead? Is it you have brain activity but your heart stops?
Cognitive thought.
Is it cognitive thought and then being able to say something, to be able to verbalize
Just
those
the
thoughts?
thought.
Just the thought?
Mm-hmm. I'd say that just thinking enough.
So
is living.
just brain activity?
Mm-hmm.
So if you had just brain activity, you'd be living, but you'd say pull the plug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really, they coexist with each other. Like, you can't have your brain active if your heart's not beating.
Well,
because it'll only survive for fucking
a few minutes, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's not sustainable.
But for him, but it is a good important question to ask of like,
oh yeah, 100%.
Where do you draw the line for life? Is it at conception? You know, is it
no?
But those are important guidelines to set up.
Sure, yeah. For
those
abortions,
those are things you need to know.
For in the case of an abortion, I would say at a heartbeat, which is very young. But given circumstances, you know, it's up to the woman.
In the case of abortion,
choice.
When does the heart start to beat?
Oh, fuck. That's a good question. I have no idea.
Because if you say, that's the weird thing too, because if you say like consciousness, like awareness, it's like probably not till the age of 3.
5.5 to 6 weeks after gestation.
And most girls don't know they're pregnant until about 6 weeks.
That's when a fetal heartbeat may first be detected by ultrasound. First visible sign of a developing embryo can sometimes be seen between 6.5 to 7 weeks. So
that's not a lot of time.
Based on that, you got to figure that shit out whether you want it or not.
Mm.
But
you got to make a choice quick, an executive decision, if you will.
The fucking deadline to get an abortion. Just don't want to be a waste of resources at that
I think
point. Yes.
I think around 6 to 10 weeks.
Farther than that.
Really?
Yeah.
I know you can late term abort stuff, like
fucking.
But if it's ordered by like a doctor,
I want to do a 17-year, 11-month late term abortion. I don't want this kid anymore.
Yeah, his truck's in the driveway if you want to buy it.
It depends on the laws in your state, but
So looking for California.
It can be hard to find a nurse or a doctor who will give you an abortion after your 12th week.
Yeah.
So it's best to try to have your abortion as soon as possible. You can get an abortion later than 24 weeks, only in rare cases for medical reasons.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So 2 months.
But that's not a lot.
No.
That's not a lot of time.
6 months.
24 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But that's like if it's going to kill the mother.
So 3 months is your minimum.
6 weeks?
12 weeks.
12 weeks is the
3
minimum.
months. It'd be hard to find one based on like...
After 3 months.
Yeah.
Got it.
Based on like personal issues between doctors and whatnot.
Yeah. Damn.
Your body, your choice. That's my philosophy. Do what you want.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like if you make it illegal, it's just gonna make an illegal market for it. because people aren't going to stop doing
People are going to
drugs.
drive across state lines.
People
to
aren't
get it
going to
done.
people aren't going to stop getting abortions.
Nope.
It's just going to be, how does the market balance it out? You know. Damn.
But yeah, life can't happen without a heartbeat, and life can't happen without cognitive thought.
So maybe you need both. So if you're a vegetable
Yeah.
with a weak heartbeat, or you have a heartbeat but no wait.
I mean, your heart beats and you can think. You just can't do anything else.
Yeah, so if your heart beats but you have no brain activity,
You are alive.
you're alive.
Your
But
quality of life is literally zero.
but you need to have both at a healthy standard, right? So like maybe your heart has to beat and you have to be able to pass a cognitive function test.
But you're paralyzed. You're fully paralyzed.
Yeah.
You
But-
literally can't do anything. Your quality of life is zero.
But if you could at least speak or blink, or like, you know how Stephen Hawking could still like look into a computer and spell shit out.
I mean,
like,
he had a neurodegenerative disease.
but he wasn't dead.
no,
Like, and nor should you classify him as dead. I'm saying,
just until he died.
yeah, if someone gets hit by a car and they're in a coma and they wake up from the coma and they can't move their body parts, but they can move their eyes and their heart's beating, they qualify as
They're alive.
alive. It's just, how is the quality of life, and do you think this quality of life is worth living? And that's a great segue into talking about like just life in any country or wherever you are, right? Like politicians in America right now are talking about bringing more high-paying jobs to people around the world that are, you know, good for the environment, for the ecosystem, and they want more green-paying jobs in this Green New Deal. Do you think that's the same? It's got to be the same kind of guidelines of like, do you think life is worth living in your country? Do you think
Venezuela is a really good comparison.
is your country affordable, and are you happy living in your country?
The average government job in Venezuela pays $10 a month.
I don't know how that scales. Is it good?
That's really bad.
Okay.
That I mean, their bolivar. Let's look up some conversions.
It's so funny how like we didn't wake up ever planning to talk about like international issues, but like
It happens.
it's so much of what we do.
Waiting for this webpage to load.
VEV versus USD. I'm pretty sure the only currency in the world right now above the US dollar is the Britain.
So $1 is 248,209.78 Venezuelan bolivar.
Let's move to Venezuela.
Their money's not worth anything. Shops over there use the US dollar rather than the Venezuelan bolivar,
Really?
which is what their government pays
Which is why
people in.
which is why they're tanking. Or
That's a whole nother thing that I'm way not qualified to talk about.
why not involve? You know how the EU had the EU? They all shared the
euro?
Euro.
Yeah.
Why doesn't the Venezuela petition to be like, hey, US, let's make a deal? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
What the fuck are they going to give us?
I don't know.
Nothing.
And the US just like,
Yeah.
whatever, dude, you're Venezuela.
They're fighting socialism right now and democracy. That's what's going on in fucking Venezuela.
And I mean, the US probably sells them guns or something.
So really, I watched a video earlier today about RuneScape and
Nice.
gold farming and how Venezuelans farm gold in a game online to pay their bills.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
It is. And they would get paid 5 times more than the government would pay them for a job. They would make, on average, $50 a month to play RuneScape. They weren't even living rich. They're just making $50 a month to pay their basic necessities: food, water, clothing, just shit to live.
By playing a video game.
By playing a video game.
That's, you know what's so crazy too is like,
That would pay more
that's better than being a fucking professional gamer.
than the government.
That's better than being a professional gamer, because you know what, dude? That is fucking paying your bills by playing video games. That is fucking making it happen. Or-
It's against game rules.
I mean,
They get banned. And they just make new accounts.
that sucks, because that's a good way to make money.
It is.
If,
But
if someone was like
not against.
the only way you can pay your rent is to play Pac-Man, I'd be like, sign me the fuck up. Let's go.
Actually, they went to Chile to visit family, and it was 14,000 Chilean pesos for a pizza.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
No, it's 140. Oh, it's 14,000.
I can read. Barely. Enough. I can read enough.
Jesus Christ, man. And that's the thing is like those conversions hurt my head because it's like
$1 is 200 Mexico pesos.
because it's like if you go to McDonald's and you get something off the deli menu here, it's like here's $1. Here's like the lowest form of paper currency we have, and the highest form of coin currency, I guess. 5 times less, yeah. And that's the thing. It's like it's perspective, right? It's like that's why people like Josh studied so hard to get his economics degree to understand the difference of the importance of inflation and like there's people in the world right now who like make super important decisions on like not to fuck with Venezuela because they're like we don't want you to have our US dollar as your dollar because it'll hurt our dollar.
Yeah, 200,000 Venezuelan bolivar to $1 US.
That would take such a huge hit for the U.S. currency.
It's like that
It'd plummet
fucking,
the U.S. currency.
What is it? Zimbabwe has like the fucking $1 trillion note that doesn't fucking do anything.
It's still like nothing.
Yeah, some African country with like the $1 trillion note. I don't even think it's circulated anymore.
And it's $100 trillion in Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
It's $1 trillion note. It's $100 trillion note, dude.
And you can buy one for $300.
And
USD.
you know what's so crazy is that they're called notes. They're basically IOUs. No matter what country you go to, no matter where you are in the world, it's like, hey.
Well, any dollar is a note, really.
Yeah, any dollar is a note. But it's like, here you go. Sorry I didn't give that to you. We're cool now, right? And then like in other places, it's just worth more. Yeah. Blows my mind.
$1 US to 100 yen.
Yeah.
Roughly.
I want to know the highest valued dollar or no currency. Valued currency.
Compared to what?
Compared to all of them. The Kuwait dinar. You'll receive just 30 cents. This isn't going to make sense. So you'll receive just 0.30 Kuwait dinar after exchanging $1 US, making the Kuwait dinar the world's highest valued currency unit per face value, or simply the world's strongest currency. Kuwait has the strongest world currency.
Oil money.
That is insane. So Kuwait has the 16 strongest world currencies. Kuwait dinar, number 1. I gotta scroll for 2 days. Oh, wow, it just all loaded. What the fuck is going on?
It's literally right underneath that picture.
New Zealand dollar.
Number 16. 15.
Australian dollar.
14.
Singapore.
13.
Brunei.
12.
Libyan.
11.
Canadian.
8. 12. 10.
United States.
Shit. 9.
Swiss.
That makes sense. 8.
Euro.
7.
Cayman Islands.
6.
Gibraltar.
5.
Gibraltar. Pound sterling.
British pound.
British pound.
4.
Jordan dinar.
3.
Omani rial.
2.
Bahrain dinar.
1.
Kuwait dinar.
Wow. What are we having for dinner? Kuwait.
Kuwait dinar. We're having a Kuwait dinar. That's crazy. I would have never guessed Kuwait had the highest. Didn't we go to war with Kuwait?
Pretty sure we fucked them up.
Kuwait. We just started a new economy and
The
was
Gulf
like
War.
the Gulf War. Yeah, with Kuwait.
Fucked them up. We got fucked up in that. Both sides got fucked up in the Gulf War.
But they walked away with the highest, and that only shows you it's all about oil. That's how you know it's all about oil. They're like, we're gonna fucking take your country by force, unless you can fend us off. We get all the oil, and they won, I guess. Oh, look at this, Jesus! Commanders and leaders. Oh, America, 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 America. Damn.
Oh, it was Saddam Hussein. Mm-hmm. Fuck
That was
guy.
the war, bro.
He's dead.
That's why we went to war, for oil.
For terrorism.
For terrorism.
Well,
Well, I think this is a good place to end it as much as any other.
we covered a lot.
We did. We had a good show. A lot happened today. We talked about a lot. Thank you all for joining us.
Tune in next week, I guess, if you want.
We do the show every Monday
No.
and Wednesday, 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
We'll be here.
Your name is?
I'm Josh.
And I'm Alec. Thanks for hanging out with us.